And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. Yeshiva's Gula Show. And we are standing here. Oh, Ravid. And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. We're sitting here in Tiberia, between the kever of Rebbe Akiva.
Wow.
And the kever of the Ramchal.
Wow. That's amazing.
Now, I know that, listen, we're blibing Shver on Gilgal, but we're not really blibing Shver. When we see the Ramchal's kever right next to Rebbe Akiva's kever, we're like, listen, obviously the Ramchal was the Gilgal of Rebbe Akiva. That's klar. Mashiach ben Yosef over here.
Amazing.
Unbelievable, And so it's a big schus. When Yeshiva's Geula Shaul, who is also a Ben Yosef. Shaul ben Kishishmi. And we're back, Ziggy ourselves. What is going on? Look where we are. Oh, and my Tati pulling in for a late night cheer.
They're trying to mute me. They don't want to hear the truth.
They don't hear. Look where we are. We're between the kever of Rebbe Akiva and the kever of the Ramchal.
Nice.
In Tiberia. So it should be a schus for our captive family and our soldiers. It should be a schus for the Geula. Now we know that the Ramchal and Rebbe Akiva were both big in bringing the Akiva. The Ramchal and Rebbe Akiva are two heroes in Yeshiva's Gula Show. And it's a big schus to be with them here doing Tikkun Chatzos.
Amazing.
Zog the Heilige Mishnah, Nun Hey Amud Aleph, bottom 3 lines. Laikchim gat beuta min ha'akum, aval biju nodo biyado v'nozen letapuach ve'eno oze yayin nezech ad sheyered lebor. Okay, so I think this is saying you could buy a wine press. We have to see what beuta means. Let's see the Rashi. From the idolater, and even though he takes in his hand and he puts it into the tapuach, and we have to see what does that mean, v'not in the tapuach. Ve'eno ose yayin nezech ad sheyered lebor, because it doesn't become like idolatrous wine, yayin nezech, until it goes down to the pit. Yard lebor. So what if it already went down to the bore, to the pit where they keep the wine? Yard the bore, masha b'bor aser v'ashar mutter. If it went into the pit, so whatever was put into the pit is aser, and the rest is mutter. Okay. So that's the end of this Mishnah, but there's more Mishnah. So it says, Dorchim im oved kochav begas. You're allowed to step with the idolater in the wine press, to step with him. Avalo botzumimo, but you can't pick grapes with him. Yisrael shehu osa betuma. So a yid who he does the picking of the grapes, or maybe the stomping of the grapes, that he does it in impurity. So lo dorchim v'lo botzumimo. So this guy who he doesn't care about Tuma and Tahara, this yid, you can't it's even more stringent than what you could do with the with the with the with the non-Jew because there you can't step with him and you can't pick with him grapes. But you can schlep with him the chaviot, the barrels to the wine press. And you can carry with him to the wine press. A Jewish bread maker that he makes it impure. He makes his bread impure. Lo lashin velo orchin imo. You can't knead the bread and you can't set it up with him. Aval molichin imo pas the palter. But you can deliver with this yid. You can deliver pas to the palter with the yid. And that is the Mishnah. And now it is time for the Rashi. So you can buy room God Beuta, says Rashi, God Beuta Shebata Vidarcha Ove Gochavim. Schlegs. God Beuta is not you can it's not that you could buy a wine press with an uta. With we're like, what's an uta? No, a God Beuta is the type of God, meaning a wine press that has already been like stepped on and used and smushed. You can
Gotcha.
buy a used wine press from him, right? Even though he puts in his hand and gives to the tapuach. So what does that mean? Shalom. Afabishu notel, says Rashi, anavim mitoch yayin be'adashim shel gaz shekorin the maish. Okay, so he takes grapes from the wine in the lenses of the wine press or with the adashim or with the beans or the lenses. Probably beans of the gut that's called the maish. So he takes it, the notel tapuach, and he puts it in the apple. Asifas gel anavim. So it's where the tapuach is the collection of the gal of anavim, the like a pile of grapes. Shedagas akora under the wall. It's called a tapuach, and in French it's called a shack. Because Zavar Dani done, Rashi, our Tana holds, Lo Avi Ayinezer Aji Yared Labor. Even though he's touching the grapes with his hand. He's touching the wine, he's touching the grapes, right? He sticks his hand in, picks out the grapes, and puts them in the pile. Like, wait a second, this guy is touching the Yayin Nesech over here. Says, no, it's not Yayin Nesech, it's not impure wine until it goes down to the bore. Like, the bore is, I guess, like where they keep like the stash of the wine. So even though he's interacting with this wine and he interacted with it until it goes into the bore, it's not us. Okay. So they say, well, if the bore, if it goes down to the bore, to the storehouse. So then whatever goes into the bore is aser, and whatever doesn't is mutter. Right? Says Rashi, Masha bebor aser. Im nagaba ovegochav macharechen. So if the guy touches the wine that's already in the bore, in the pit where the wine is being stored, so it's aser. Bor hayu ozim of neagat. So they made this hole before the wine press. And so there was a vessel in this hole, right? There was a vessel. Could you guys hear me all right? Or is the music distracting? It's good?
Can't hear the music at all.
Oh, really? So it's only distracting for the yid? No, I'm kidding. Not distracting. Not distracting. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like Trey Coley and Nishmayan. Yeah, you don't hear it? Okay. So they made a hole before the god, and that's where they would put the vessel to collect the wine. And there are some people who they take pottery or cement and they would cover the bore, they would cover the hole. They would cover like the sides of the hole so that it wouldn't get like dirt in the wine, and the wine would stay in it. The eno me'abed tiba, and it didn't lose anything, right? It didn't seep into the ground. Vehu borsid, and this is what they mean when they say a borsid. They say that some tanas, some people is a borsid. They don't lose any of their learning. Everything is just, it's a borsid. It's a borsid over here. This guy's a borsid. Doesn't forget anything. Okay, that's the first Mishnah. This is a triple Mishnah. Sometimes, like, they do that. Like they add two Mishnahs in the same Mishnah.
Triple mish. That's rare.
This is a triple Mish. Yeah, triple Mish is not common. So the beginning of the second Mishnah is that you can step on the grapes with a guy, with an idolater. Says Rashi, below Amrina Nishtager Beisur. We don't say that this guy is making money with these by doing something. It's Asr B'Hana. De'avilu B'Shtia Savar Haidana Deshari goes Manchiara the bar. This Tana, not only can you work with this guy while he's stepping on the grapes before it goes into the bore, but theoretically, you'll be able to drink it. You can suck it right off his toes. Idolatry toe wine. Extra buniony. Listen, mutter. By the way, this music sounds like it's not coming from the Tzion. It's like some guy is like setting up here and like singing with the background music just outside, and he's like missing like every like fifth word. Whatever. It's going. It sounds like he doesn't know all the words to the song. Sounds like me trying to sing the song.
Oh my God. I was about to say, it sounds like me trying to sing a song.
Okay, so there's actually a backtrack, and he's with the words, and he's singing on the backtrack. Whatever. So you can step because you can suck it off these guys' toes. Umishum gorim tuma legalim le misha'a lega shem. There's no even like you're causing tuma Because from the time that he Jadarach Bahana Ovegulavim Me'at Nitmeu Umishum Messiah day of the Avera Leka Shovegulavim no Nstav Alkach. So he's saying you can do it. And says Rashi, there are three things that we might have been worried about. The first one is that maybe you're making money by Azar Hana. No, you're not making money by Azar Hana because the wine is not Azar Hana. This Tana thinks you could even drink it until it goes into the board. You can suck it off the toes. So there's no problem of Mishtager Be'Azar Hana. Rebbetzin, do you have a pen for me or a penless? And because of Goreim Tuma, you're causing Tuma, you're not, because of the time that he's stepping on them. Oh, God. From the time that the idolater steps, so there's no Mishtag Bezerana, there's no Goreim Tuma, because from the time that the idolater steps on them, it says Me'at Nitmeu. Because from the time that the idolater steps on them, even a little bit, they become Tameh. So there's no problem. Like you say, oh, the Jew is helping. The Yid is helping the idolater make this thing Tameh. He's Goreim Isser. He's not Goreim anything. He's not Goreim any Tumah. The Tumah happens the second the idolater steps on it. What is this Jew going to do? He's not making it. He's not causing it to become Tameh. And the third thing we're worried about, this is going to be your favorite one of these reasons. That maybe you'd say, wait, but you're helping, and you're helping an Oved Avera, right? Messiah de Oved Avera. Right? You're helping him do an Avera, right? Aren't you helping this idolater do an Avera? I don't know why you say you're helping him, but it says, no, you're not. Why? Because it's not usher for the idolater to do this. Not when the Chef Mitzvah in Noach. Like, yeah, a Yid might not be able to drink this wine because it might be Tameh, so I might not be able to drink this wine, but it's not Yayin Nesech. It's not Asher Hana, it's not, right? Or maybe it's Tuma. Maybe it's Tuma Derabanan, by the way, because a guy is Metame Derabanan, right? Just like anything a guy touches is Tuma Derabanan. But it's no Avera. Maybe it would be an Avera for the Yid to drink it, but it's not an Avera to make the wine like this because the guy is not doing anything wrong. Well, I want to see if I can see. Not? רגע, כן, אני באמצע שיעור. אבל, בסדר. Okay, so the pen I just lent. But I wanted to anyways go out and figure out what's going on with this song. I knew it. This guy is singing and he's playing music. This is the area, by the way. The Ramchal and Rebbe Akiva. An unbelievable thing that the Ramchal and Rebbe Akiva buried together. And I was right about what was going on with the singing. Okay. Have a low boat trim. So you can step with the guy, but you can't pick with the guy. You can't be bites there. Once you're already stepped. Oh, thank you. Okay, because you're in. Do you have another pen first? This one doesn't work so good. So when it's already in the gut, so the guy already touched it and it's already tame. Zatush. So, but if you're picking with him, and then you're like, "Here, guy, I'm helping you pick these grapes," and then bring them to your impure wine press. So then you are gorim tuma. Then you are causing impurity on these grapes, right? Shet nisinazan legat the same drizahu vidrizazan titama'an. Once the guy steps on it, he makes it tame. Bekodim drichavade lo mekable tama. Tistama lo hukdaru. Before you step on them, they're vadai. They're certainly not mekabel tuma. Avad. It's certainly not mekabel tuma, and the reason that it's not mekabel tuma is because vadai is not hukshar. Now we've learned about this machshirin, that when the grape is dry, it's not mekabel tuma, but once the guy steps on it and it becomes and the wine comes out of the grape, so then it is mekabel tuma, and the guy is mitame it, and so you're causing tuma to come to it. And that which we hold, that if you're picking in order to bring it to the wine press, it's already hukshar, it's already made into a state where it could be mekabel tum. That's only talking about where it's vadai hukshar, where there's definitely some liquid on it. Because of our azar ligrom tuma lechulin sheb eretz Yisrael. And this Tana holds that it's forbidden to cause impurity to chulin, to even if it's not kachim in Eretz Yisrael, right? About molichinimo chavios legas, that you can sleep with him. Oh no, the Israel. Rashi hits us with the V Israel. The Gemara says Israel. Rashi hits us with the V Israel. Israel shehu osa peirosav bituma. Yisrael, that he picks his fruit and he's impure. Over Veru, it's an Azar Nitztadaka. We're commanded against causing impurity to the fruit. Hilkach, therefore, Afilu Dorcha Nami Azar. Therefore, stepping on these fruits with him is also Azar. Shedrichazan be'avera b'gaz temeah. The stepping is an avera if it's an impure wine press. But it's only the avera if he's a yid. If he's a guy, what's the big deal? What, a guy can't have impure grapes? V'trichazan iger tumazan. The iger of becoming tame is when it's stepped on in the wine press. Kishenasin mashke hen tameim ayidegat. When it becomes liquid, it becomes tame. With the wine press makes it tame. And you can't help this guy do the avera, this Jew do an impure step, an impure wine press. Ella portion man, rather stay away from the guy who's sinning, so that we don't become like, oh, it's a normal thing. But an idolater, it's not usher for him to do. Shalom nitztava. There's no tzivoy. He's never commanded. Avamolichin imo chavios. But you can schlep, you can deliver the barrels, says Rashi. Rekanos. Oh, only empty barrels. You can bring with this Jew an empty barrel. Why? And you could bring with him full barrels from the breast. They ain't got a air because no air here. Once it's already impure, so you can take impure wine and pour it into impure barrels. And then that's the second Mishnah. And then the third Mishnah, is a yid who makes his bread impure with like he's like plays with his dead pet rats, and then he's like, oh, let me make some bread, you know. And so he's tame. So you can knead the dough with him. Any action that you're preparing the bread is already an avera. You're helping the hand of someone who's sinning. But you can bring the bread with him to the bread salesman. And with that, we are done with the Mishnah. We are now on Nun Hamad Beis, starting the Gemara. Amar Ravuna, says Ravuna, Yayin Kevan Shehitchil lehamshich or limashech osi yayin nezech. The Ravuna says wine, once he starts to bring it, it becomes yayin nezech tanan. Says in a Mishnah, our Mishnah, Lokrin gat beuta. You could buy a wine press that had already been stepped on and used from the idolater. And even though he takes in his hand and puts it in the tapuach, he picks up the wine, the grapes, right? He picks up the grapes, the kernels, the grapes, and he puts them in the pile. That would imply that the wine only gets impure when it gets to the bore, to the hole, and it's not at this time that Ravuna says that once he begins limashech, which is exactly what that is, limashech. So it's a question of Ravuna from our Mishnah. Amar Ravuna says Ravuna begat bekuka umalaya. He's saying, no, that God is talking about a God pekuka. Now, the word pekak in modern Hebrew it means pekak, like traffic. So I guess this is like, what is this, clogged and full? Okay. So the Gemara is going to bring a brisa trying to prove either against Ravuna or for Ravuna. Let's see Rashi until now. Shehitril limashech. Right? Ravuna says, wine, once it begins to lihimashech, to be pulled, she'agad asuya b'midron. The wine press is made on a slant, right? And Ravuna is saying that the wine, once the wine begins to drip down, it's uzr. Our Mishnah says it's not until it arrives in the hole. Ravuna is saying that once it starts to already drip, to come down to the hole. Once the liquid that comes out of the grape begins to go down the ramp into the bore, into the hole, it's already usher. It's already called yayin. It's already yayin nezech if a non-Jew touches it at that point. So he said, wait a second though. It says here we could buy a used gat because the wine, the yayin nezech, which is I guess like seeped into the floor of this wine press, it doesn't become usher according to the guy in our Mishnah, but according to Ravuna, he's saying once it starts dripping down, so then the floor would become usher. So Ravuna has a big question. Ravuna says, so he says no. Ravuna answers, no. This Mishnah is talking about a god pikuka, says Raji. Shepikagu atzinor al biabor shelo yagul leiraid. They made traffic, or they made a stoppage in the drain the drain that's like up on the bore, so it couldn't go down to the bore. Vihi aiza kula malaya anavin. It was already full of grapes. Velo nimshach bayayin. The wine stood in place. It was already like full. Velo zaz mimakomo. It didn't move 1 inch. El makom shenischad sham omed. The exact place where you squeeze it, that's where it is. That's where it stays. Which is like a little hard for Ravuna to say this. Ravuna is going to establish that our mission is talking about such a rare and specific case. Ravuna, over here. So says Raji, Tashma, come in here. Tashma, come and listen. Be'eno ozeya nezech ajiyeri the bor. It says in a brayza that it doesn't become yayin nezech until it comes down to the bor. But Rav Huna says it becomes yayin nezech earlier, right? Once it starts trickling down, you know. You know what they call this? Trickle down tomonomics. No, I thought I heard someone saying something, but it's just that guy. But also, I was like, yo, maybe I could hear them, even though they're all muted. Maybe I could hear them laughing at my amazing joke. Trickle down tomonomics over here. So how could but how could it become? How could it become us? Like Rav Huna says, this Brisa seems to say that not until it gets to the bore. Rav Huna says trickle down. Rav Huna says Achinami begat bekuka malaya. Here also it's clogged. The god is clogged and it's full, meaning it there's nowhere for it to go, so it never trickles. Zakt Rashi, begat bekuka malaya. He says Vaj Me'ina, and this Brisa teaches us is begat malaya in a full press that the hole is folded up completely. Ein ba meshicha ad sheyido begag. There's no trickle down until they take the part of it that's clogged away. Now you take the peacock is like, let's say this is the hole. Let's say this is the hole. There's like a wall in front of it, so it never drips down into the hole, right? And it's full also. They're stepping in water. The wine just stays where it is. I don't know if that's how liquid works. As much. I got it, DVD Shkaya. I got you. I hear you. 9 minutes. Shkaya God. That's the song they're singing. Okay. There's no drip down. And then once you move the wall that's blocking it from going into the bore, and then it would automatically go in. And by the way, we paskin like Rav Huna. So it sounds like our Mishnah is talking about this incredibly specific case. Okay, Tashma, another brisa they're bringing. Tashma, come in here. Yara, the bore went down to the bore. Masha before is the rest of our Mishnah. It goes down to the hole. Whatever's in the hole is Azar, and the rest, the part that didn't make it into the hole yet, is Mutter. But wait a second, according to Rav Huna, it didn't make it into the hole, but it trickled down. It would still be Azar. It would still be Ayin Nazach. So there's another question on Rav Huna. Amar Rav Huna lo kasha. Rav Huna's like, well, nah, I got an answer. Kan b'mishnah rishona, kan b'mishnah achrayna. Saying this is in the first Mishnah, this is in the second Mishnah. And we're like, second, huh? Titania, because that's in the price. Barishona at the beginning. How you omrim? They were saying, Bedalid Dalid, Ein Botrin Ima Ove Goravim. You can't Bedalid Dalid, I'm not sure what that is. You can't do it with an akum, with an idolater. You can't pick with him the idolater. Because you can't cause tuma, impurity, to mundane food in Israel. The ain't doors in the Israel and you can't press with an Israelite that makes his fruit impure, because over there it's Azul Isaiah, over there you can't help the hands of a sinner. About Dorgim im Obed Gorav Begas, right? You can't pick with the idolater and you can step with the yid who does it in Tuma. Because you can't cause Tuma and you can't help the Ovdei Avera. But you can step with the idolater, no problem. Below Chayshinan, the Rav Huna. And you don't have to worry about Rav Huna. But that's what they said at the beginning. When Rav Huna first dropped, when Rav Huna first said his statement, everyone was like, no, we're not even worrying about Rav Huna. And they went back and they said, Dalid base Dalid. So they used to say base Dalid. You can't boat there with an agum, and you can't dorek with a yid who does the betuma. But you can dorchen. Boats and dorchen. It's base Dalid. So at the beginning we're like, what? But then they went back and said Dalid Beis Dalid. What is Dalid Beis Dalid? Ain Dorchin, you can't step with the idolater and the god because of Rav Huna. Because Rav Huna says trickle down tomonomics. The Ain Baitrin in Israel, and you can't step with the Yid that makes his Peiros B'tuma. It makes his Peiros B'tuma because that would be Messiah de Over. You would be helping the sinner. That goes again all the more so that you can't step with the Yid in the impure wine press. About Bosdern Ima Agum begot, but you can boats there, you can pick with the idolater in the wine press, you can maybe boats there is like to collect it together and not just pick it, collect it. Oh, he says you can boatrin with it because you're allowed to cause an impurity to chulin. That's an Eretz Yisrael. So you know that they say that war is good for the economy. But that's maybe only good for the economy, for like the government. Okay, boats there is harvesting grapes. That's what I want to check. But a lot of restaurants over here in Tiberia are closed because there's no tourists. And even though they did great, like on Sukkot and before Sukkot, and they're doing amazing, but now there's like no tourists here, and so the restaurants in Tiberia, so it's not so great for the economy of the individuals, but it could be good for the government because they could like make weapons and sell for that way. I don't know. I gotta talk to my dad about the implications of war on a country's GDP, but that's not for now. I was just saying that because I was stalling because I wanted to look up what Bitsira was to make sure that I wasn't leading the Eden astray. 2 minutes? Okay. So we really did get to 2 dots and we did over an Amud today. But I'm gonna take us to this next Tashma where we get to see the Rashis. And even though there is some background music, the Abishter will give us the Adishmaya. To do a little Shehechiyanu, Rebbe Akiva, and Ramchal, new ukulele. And I wouldn't want to start it without Rebbe Akiva and the Ramchal. Akiva ben Yosef and the Ramchal was a Gilgal, I heard, but I have no raya. But they are buried right next to each other, and it's a big Spustel Torah in between them. But I wouldn't go in because I'm a Kohen. But check out, this is the kever of the Ramchal. You have the Ramchal's bones down there. And this is the kever of Rebbe Akiva. And I got this ukulele. And we're learning about wine. And at what point does it become Yain Nezek in the wine press? And the Gemara says, I'm not going to guess, but I have 2 different opinions. Maybe it's when it goes into the hole, and maybe it's when it starts to trickle on the slant. And this is 22 shiurim in a row. And we're doing it by the Ramchal and by Rebbe Akiva. And every word he ever uttered glows forever with an eternal glow. the ukulele.